One of the other setup things we'll do with the violin is rosining the bow. Now, the bow, the rosin, which is manufactured in different ways, but the base of it is actually spruce sap or spruce gum, and then it's manufactured with. There's oil-based rosins and alcohol-based rosins, so there's a few different types of rosins. I like the black rosin, but people will prefer the white rosin. It's usually wrapped up in a cake like this, and so I wrap it back up. It preserves the life of it, keeps it from drying out and getting brittle and breaking up, and then I'll put it back into the case or the box in this case when I'm done. So when I take this out now, I have the cake here. Now I'm going to rosin up my bow. So the rosin, when it comes off, it's a sticky, and so the stickiness on the hair of the bow, the hair, the reason they use horsehair is because there's tiny little barbs that we can't see. They're almost microscopic that will hold the rosin, and the rosin is what makes the noise when we pull the bow across the strings. If there's no rosin on the bow hair, they will not make a sound going across the strings of the violin. So that's why you see people rosining up the bow. Now, I mentioned before, rosin is a cake, and it can be broke, it can be brittle, it can break up. So I want to avoid that as much as possible. So when I'm rosining the bow, what I like to do, without touching the hair, I will put my thumb over this metal edge of the frog here, where the hair is going into, just so it kind of lightly hangs over. So when I'm rosining, I don't hit that metal and chip the rosin, right? I hit my thumb if I'm coming down to that end of the bow. And then I'm rosining the whole thing. So you don't always have to rosin every time you play, but because a lot of the rosin will maintain and stay on the hair and will stay on the strings too. Some players actually clean the strings off every time they're done with a microfiber cloth. They'll wipe across the top of the strings when they're done. So I've just rosined my bow. The first time rosining the bow, some of the rosins might need a little bit of help getting started, especially if it's a new rosin and a new bow. It might take sometimes some of the newer cakes, I will just scratch like with a pin just to get some of the rosin loosened up on top, and then I can rosin the bow. And the first time you rosin, it might take quite a few strokes. Now you can't over rosin a bow, because what happens if you put too much rosin on? It's just gonna come off your bow and it'll fall on your fiddle. As you can see, there's rosin underneath the bottom of my strings on the fiddle. It's a good idea to wipe that off, because that as I said before, rosin is sticky and it's made from spruce sap. And if you're playing where it's warm or hot, that will stick onto the violin, and then that'll kind of deaden the sound of the violin too as it bakes on, and it makes it harder to get off. So that's rosining the bow.